Milo, you were raised in Los Angeles, and now that's hardly the hotbed of organics. And so how did you invent the Dr. Earth line of organics some 25 years ago?
You know, Gretchen, I've always had this dream. And I've always wanted to be a country boy. You know, I used to fantasize about being Huckleberry Finn. I used to like gather up friends and have them play Tom Sawyer. And the only real place I can fantasize about being Huck Finn was in the garden. That was the only real natural environment that I had in Los Angeles. And my mother, Jeanette, who was just a great gardener, she figured this out at a really young age. She thought, if I got Milo to pretend like he was Huckleberry Finn in the garden, I can get him to do some weeding with me. I can get him to kind of work in the garden. That's how Dr. Earth was actually born in Los Angeles. I mean, I know you don't typically think of organics when you think of Los Angeles, but to me, as a child, it was the most natural place that I could find in Los Angeles was the garden. My dad, Lou, used to take me fishing when I was a little kid. From the time I was about 5 years old, we'd go fishing off the coast of Southern California. The fishermen would take the fish fillets home with them, and then they would take all these fish parts, the bones, the intestines, the heads, the skin, and they treated them like waste, and they would throw them away. So I thought, God, I can recycle these parts, because I learned this great lesson when I was in the 3rd or 4th grade about the Pilgrims and the Indians, and how the Indians taught the Pilgrims to take these fish parts and bury them in the soil and grow their corn. So it was on the fishing boat with my dad that I thought, God, all this stuff they're being wasteful, they're throwing all this great stuff away. So I brought it home with me, and with my mother's guidance, we buried it in the garden, just like I learned in elementary school. And we began to grow organic vegetables using fish products. And the results were amazing. That was the birth of Dr. Earth, without even me ever knowing it. I had invented a product line when I was 7 years old, simply by going fishing with my father and taking the stuff home and just using it in the garden with my mother's guidance. It was, you know, it brings such joy to me, that memory. So those beautiful, fond memories of playing in the garden and weeding and cultivating and burying all these fish products. And you know, the reality is though, fish is loaded with micronutrients, and it really, really works. Probiotic is such an important thing. As you know, the human body needs probiotics. First of all, let's look at the word probiotic. It actually comes from 2 different words. Pro means for, biotic is from the Greek word bios, which means life. So it's literally for life. And your body needs these beneficial organisms to remain healthy, to fight off diseases, to fight off viruses. The soil is very much like the human body in that it's a living organism. If you look at the soil as a whole, it's a living organism. And you need probiotics in the soil, like the human body needs probiotics inside of it. Probiotic makes organic materials work in the soil. That's the essence of it. That's the reason why it's so important. It fights diseases. It makes organic nutrients available, bioavailable. As plants can use these nutrients, they become healthy. It's very much like you and I. We go out, we eat a meal. Unless our body has these digestive enzymes to break down the materials within our body, we don't get the nutrients from them. And that's what probiotic does, but it does it in the soil. It breaks the materials down in the soil, it converts them into a form that becomes bioavailable, and then the plant roots absorb them, making healthy plants. That's the essence of it. That's why probiotic is so important. It makes healthy plants, which in my opinion, the healthier the plant, the healthier the people. The important part would be the benefits of using organics would actually work. Otherwise, if they take organic materials home and they're not probiotic, they just take forever to break down and the plants can't benefit from them. And you're not benefiting, you're not building a life in the soil. That's the benefit to the home gardener, is that now all these organic components work. So that's why probiotic is probably one of the most important inventions in the last 50 years. And I've been told this many times. that until probiotic was invented in 1991, organic fertilizers and organic soils were very slow and they simply did not work. And that's the reason why my company is very successful, because I invented probiotic. I made organics work.